We're gonna ask you guys for the next 10 minutes to clear your mind of everything that you've ever thought about counseling and divorce.
Well, we got a lot of good information for you, but let's do introductions first. Teresa?
Okay, thank you, Neil. So my name is Teresa Thomas, and I'm a marriage mediator at Marriage Today. I've been in the relationship industry for about 25 years. My fee is $100 an hour, and I hate divorce.
My name is Neil Prevost. I'm a divorce attorney. I've also been doing this about 25 years, but my fee's $500 an hour. But I also hate divorce. And that's why I'm here to support Marriage Today and the fantastic program of Operation Hope.
Thank you. So last year, I had the privilege of announcing the launch of Marriage Today's very first marriage coaching program called Operation Hope. This year, we are launching Operation Hope via Skype. So all of you guys that are here visiting from out of state, and those of you that are joining us via satellite, Operation Hope is coming to you. That means everyone will have the ability to have a marriage coach in their home, in the comfort of your own home. We also have marriage mediation, where couples come to us and spend all day working on conflict resolution and marriage restoration. Unfortunately, most of the couples that we see in marriage mediation have waited to the bitter end to seek help. They are literally 1 foot in the office of my friend Neil Prevost. So Neil and I have been friends for over 35 years. We've been in each other's weddings, we've raised kids together, and now we're empty nesters. And I promise you, we have had some of the most interesting conversations as it pertains to marriage counseling and divorce. But there are 2 things that we agree on. That is that I have the best job, but he makes the most money. A lot more money.
Sorry.
So Neil, why do you think it is that couples are more willing to spend $500 to break up their marriage and less willing to seek help for $100 an hour to keep it together?
Well, first of all, Teresa, I think I need to correct you. It's really not $500 an hour. It's really closing in on $1,000. If you got a marriage coach, you've got 1. If you got a divorce, you got 2 of me. And so it's 1 for each of you, and it's $1,000 an hour. So I don't know why people, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. But people do it because I think they get their minds are just so full of negativity and misperception and fear and doubt and all that. And how many people in here live in a place where there's an air filter in your air conditioning system? Anybody got an air filter? Okay. Well, believe it or not, in your brain, there's also a belief filter. Now go with me for just a second. When a couple, y'all know a brand new couple's fall in love, about to get married, right? That belief filter is all the way over here on positive. You can't tell them, you can't show them anything negative about that person, right? Love is blind. Can't see anything wrong with them. 7 years later in my office, all the way over here to negative.
So true.
They can't hear, see, or believe anything positive about their spouse and about their mate. Now, here's the crazy thing about it. Neither end is objectively true. It never is. That guy or girl was not perfect when you first met her, and they are him or her, and they are neither pure, they are not Satan now, neither one. And what marriage mediation does, it allows you to reset the belief filter. So the other thing I think, the reason people wind up in my office is they don't know where to go, and they either don't do anything and they're in the ditch and they can't pull it out, or they go to traditional counseling. And I have no problem with traditional counseling, but when you're in crisis mode, when it's all just about to blow apart at the seams, you do not need someone who you pay for an hour and in 50 minutes they say, time to go, got my next one. You need an entire day of intense. They have a program down that is 6 hours. It's a full day, and it works. 85% of the time, this program can save your marriage. I've been working on this with Teresa for almost a decade. And I'll tell you what we were able to do just here locally, recently, and what I'm working on in the justice system. I actually got a Denton County, Texas district judge to order a couple to go to marriage mediation rather than divorce mediation.
Serious.
We sent them to Teresa and her crew, and I am happy to announce today that not only did we dismiss that case, that couple is married today. Very good. So it's just getting the word out to let you know that marriage mediation is different than counseling or therapy. We're not going to talk about whether your mother dressed you funny. We're going to talk about skills on how to manage conflict. Conflict happens for everybody. The question is, how do you resolve it? And they know how to teach you how to resolve it.
Absolutely. And you know, that's our goal this year, is to encourage couples to seek help sooner than later. So whether you're pre-marriage, newlywed, career focused, raising kids, or even empty nesters, we understand that every season of your relationship has its challenges. And all we're asking is that you recognize when you're stuck, when you're overwhelmed, and just take that leap of faith and get help sooner than later. So Neil, what would you say is the number one myth about divorce?
I got that one.
Okay.
The biggest myth about divorce is that you can win. It is not winnable. It is not winnable. It is not win-win for sure. It is not win-lose. It is lose-lose. And if you have children, it's lose-lose plus another lose for every child you have. It's lose-lose, lose-lose-lose. The children always lose. And the second myth, I think, would people believe that they're better off if they are divorced. And all the science, the statistics, everything say there's no category in which people are actually better off. Just take finances. Everybody always asks me, what does a divorce cost? And they're always shocked when I tell them, as best I can tell, I think the average cost of a divorce for your children's family in America today is roughly $100,000.
So what about those billboards we see all over the highways with attorneys advertising, get a divorce for $1,000?
Hey, baby, that is just a down payment. That's just the lawyer's fees, right? Guy comes into my office, says, I'm tired of being broke. I'm going to get a divorce. I said, are you out of your mind? What is the first thing you need if you get a divorce? A second home. How many of you have second homes today? Not many, right? You know why? Because you can't afford it. So you get a second home, average apartment costs about $2,000 a month. Average couple stays in a non-nuclear family situation about 48 months. 2,000 times 48, if my math is correct, is $96,000 plus my $4,000 is an even $100,000. It's gonna cost your children's family to get a divorce. You can't go on vacation with it. You can't spend it for college. You can't spend it on retirement. You can't spend it on enriching experience for your family. It has gone to the landlord. The single biggest beneficiary of divorce in America is landlords.
Wow.
That's it.
That's shocking. So Neil, with the time we have left,
Yes.
what 3 nuggets of information do you want these couples to know?
Number one, sooner rather than later. If you're starting to get a little bumpy in the road, do not wait till the cart's in the ditch. And try Operation Hope. I'm just telling you, it's the best program I've ever seen. Number one, that's to get help sooner rather than later. Number two, divorce is just not really a good option. It's sort of like using a meat axe to do brain surgery. It's a blunt instrument and the results are horrific. And number three, I do want to talk seriously about the emotional toll. Let's talk about children. The reality is what children want is for their parents not to fight. And before you start slinging arrows at your spouse, be very, very careful, because every arrow that you shoot at your spouse first passes through the heart of your children. Be very careful before you jump off that bridge, because children will bounce back. They are resilient, but they are going to bounce back with baggage if you take that leap. And I would just encourage you to really do everything you can to not go through this.
Wow. Neil, thank you for all of that information.
No,
it's
thank you.
awesome. So guys, you may have more questions. We want you to know that we will be in room 2D today at 4 o'clock for Q&A if you have any more questions for Operation Hope or certainly for Neil as the divorce attorney. We appreciate you opening your minds to this information. Enjoy the rest of the conference, and God bless.
And I will tell you, I will be there from 4:30, but I don't ever want to see a cotton picking one of you in my office. Thank
Thank you, guys.